Peace. Welcome to Morning Coffee. On the Our Black Empowerment platform, I'm to get on code. Today's coffee topic is Dr. Umar Johnson. One of the things that I think we can all learn from this situation with the quote unquote fall of Umar is that when things aren't necessarily done with completion, with fidelity, with a team, then all the hype in the world, all the support, all the interest, all the energy, it's not going to get the job done. And so I don't wish bad upon Umar. I'm not angry at Umar. I don't feel scammed by Umar. If you look at some of the earlier videos from the Our Black Empowerment channel, you'll see that we have some videos from Umar. One he was talking about going to college and preparing Black children for college. We have that up there. We've had that up there for years, over 11 years. There's a video of when Umar came to Virginia Beach, my team, my partner, with Positive Vibes, African Literature, and my company, Positive Vibes. We brought Umar here to Virginia Beach, Virginia, and we did 3 talks. He did 3 talks. 2 were the same talk. One was a different talk. I released one of the audios from one of those talks decades ago on the Our Black Empowerment channel. And been to a number of the Umar events when he's come to the Hampton Roads area. So used to really watch all the content of Umar back in 2012, 2013, 2015, 16. Around 2017, I was just kind of done with it. Not because Umar was bad or played out or anything. It was just that I kind of moved on. I got what he was chatting. I was first intrigued with Umar because of what he was doing with Black males in special education. Now, as that moved to some other things and some of his other beliefs and practices and values, I just lost interest. And there were other thought leaders who were popping on the scene. 2015, I don't know the exact time or date, but I know around that time period, we were also, doing the spotlights on Tariq Nasheed's content, Jason Black's content. I can't think of the brother who put out, there's another guy in Atlanta, his name will come to me in a second. He used to put out some documentaries. So we were in that space, and I've become more and more intrigued with the business, particularly Black-owned business, Black finance, than I was consciousness. So I moved away from the conscious space. I was heavily conscious community for a long time. I was a Hotep, still am a Hotep. I'm B1, still am B1. Of course, FBA, I identify as FBA, Foundational Black American. But I just kind of moved away from the conscious space, and Umar moved a little more into the conscious space. And then later, he moved into the general awareness where he became more of a personality. You know how Cardi B became a personality, how the women on Real Housewives, they became personalities. Umar became a personality that was kind of in a Black space, but he became a personality. And no hate, it just wasn't for me. Just wasn't for me. So when we brought Umar here, 2012-ish, we put together an event and we were able to have him speak 3 times. We raised about $5,000. We kept a little for ourselves. I want to say we kept maybe $1,000 for ourselves. And we gave Umar $5,000 that was going toward that Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. And he's been raising funds ever since. And everyone's been saying, I remember Tariq used to call him the Prince of Pizza, the Prince of Peach Cobbler. Yvette Carnell from ADOS was saying that something's wrong. A lot of people have been saying that it's never going to happen. And part of me was thinking they're really hating. And the other part of me was like, well, I don't see a team behind this. I don't see a strategy behind this. I don't see the type of people who build schools behind this. Secretly, Pharrell Williams here in VA, two up, two down, in Virginia Beach, as a matter of fact, has built a school. And, Oprah had her school, but I saw when Oprah put together her school, there was a whole team, educators, business people. There was a team behind it. I think there was a sports person who had a school. He was the face of the school. He never owned the school. He was just the face of the school. A lot of people thought he started his own school. No, he was the face of the school. But I saw when I did my little deep dive, it wasn't even a deep dive, just a low dive, that there was a team, educators, finance, people who build businesses, legal team. We call it a climb team in some of the circles, and that's your CPA. Climb, CPA, legal, investment, insurance. So there's a whole acronym: CLIMB, a banker. I can't think what the M stands for. I always forget what the M stands for. Hey, code keepers, if you know what the M stands for, leave it in the comments. But I didn't see a climb team. I didn't see a star team. I didn't see a team behind what was happening. And it made me weary. It made me really weary. So Deborah, oh, what up, Auntie? What up? Hey, oh, Coleman Love, Auntie. You saw her at school when you went to South Africa. Yeah. But there was a whole team. Oprah didn't just put the school together by herself. I didn't see that team behind Umar. And when he used to speak about how there was people that were hating, and he was talking to football and basketball and all these other sport athletes who were getting paid pretty well to work with them, and they were saying, no, we can't do it, but we can't do it for this reason. It has a bad look. Your personality, it just, I didn't see the type of team needed behind what Umar was speaking about to really bring it into fruition. So what we can learn from this is to make sure you have the right team behind you. Make sure, every president has their advisors. All kings have their advisors, their cabinets, right? Coaches coach people who do high value things. So they're singing coaches, they're drama coaches, they're dance coaches, they're business coaches. If you want to work on a high level, you're going to have a coach, right? I have a coach and a mentor for some of my endeavors as well. So make sure you have a team behind you. And I think that's the issue that I saw happen with Umar that disturbed me deeply. And while I didn't ever want to say it's never going to happen, I kind of knew that it was going to be troubled. I really kind of knew it was going to be trouble. So not going into the details of what happened with Umar's school, there's a lesson to be learned. And the lesson is surround yourself with a great team, code keepers. Surround yourself with a great team. If we look at the civil rights, a lot of people think that Dr. Martin Luther King did everything. Nope. Look up Septima, Septima Clark. Look up Septima Clark. There was another sister. She was banging too. There was another sister who helped Dr. King organize. And I can't think of her name, but a documentary was just released on her. Of course, I can't think of the guy's name who helped with SNCC and SCLC and all those people involved in the civil rights groups. But it wasn't just one person that pulled this together. So if you want to have an effective activity, an effective movement, make sure that you have a team that's going to support your activities, or else it's not going to go well. And that's the challenge that Brother Umar has faced. That's the challenge that has really led to what we're seeing now, where he's begging and saying my money was frozen and they're going to take the school from me in Wilmington, Delaware, if I don't get this done. he didn't have the right team behind him. So, code keepers, make sure you have the right team behind you because it makes all the difference. There's an African quote that says, if you want to go quickly, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go with others. Go with others. If you look at the canonized Bible, it's full of stories that tell the story of have people around you, love people, do things for people, do it together. Do it together. Yeshua had disciples. Now, there were 12 that are discussed in the canonized Bible. Other older texts talk about many more. So we don't want to have that discussion. But there was a team. So, we're not supposed to, a lot of the Jewish lore talk about how it's so important to act as a team. Acting as a team is so important. And to take care of your team. In the full scope of the Torah, not just the simple Torah, but all the other canonical things that are connected with the Torah, the other writings, there's some tips on how to run your business. And in those writings, it tells people, it tells Hebrews, specifically Jews, that when they do business with each other, they should do joint ventures, and they should not charge each other interest. But everybody else, you can charge interest, but it has to be an interest level that a person can get out of in 7 years, right? So amongst ourselves, we can't charge interest. We can do joint ventures. Outside of us, we can charge interest, but we have to be, we have to be wise about it and do it in a way that allows people to exit in about 7 years, which means that you don't trap people, But in that lesson alone, it says we got to work together. We got to do joint ventures. Now, I'm not Jewish. I'm not, well, I have some ancestry that were involved in Hebrew stuff. So the discussion about are we Hebrew? I'm not dealing with that today, right? My point is, get a team behind you, code keepers. Have a team behind you to do some big things. And if you love our people like I love our people, you got to have the right team behind you. So salute to the people who work with me and my team with the Hampton Roads Green Book. And if you live in Hampton Roads, I have a directory of that spotlights Black-owned businesses, organizations, and professionals. So you can go on the app, Hampton Roads Green Book app. You can download the app from your app store. If you're team Android or if you're team iPhone, you can go to the app store and get that, right? And I have a great team that works with me. So salute to Lafayette, to Austin, to Sonia, to Tierra, to Wifey, to Sean, to Daniel. Shout out to all of them who support me with the Hampton Roads Green Book. It's free, by the way. So if you live in Hampton Roads, download the app, and let's make sure our resources circulate better. And the team that worked with me on my documentary series. So if you go on YouTube, you can find Generational Flip, which is our documentary series. And this documentary series will help you to open your mind, get your mindset ready for wealth. If I give somebody wealth or health, very often they lose it. There was this thing that came out recently about the folk who are on The Biggest Losers. The Biggest Loser, yeah. Whatever the TV. I don't like reality TV. It bores me. I watch the Little Love and Hip Hop, and Little Housewives every now and then. I'll check it out, but I can't stay long. But with Biggest Loser, a lot of people who won and a lot of people who lost a lot of weight on that show gained it back. The mentality piece. It's that mentality piece. They keep talking about how people who win the lottery, very often they go broke. It's the mentality piece. It's the mentality piece. So health and wealth, mental health and wealth go together if you're going to maintain either one of them. So our concept with the documentary series is mental wealth. Keep your mental health, build your mental health, keep and build your wealth. So check that out. Check out Generational Flip on YouTube. You can also, if you want to see it ad free, go to generationalflip.com. That's generationalflip.com. Hey, I'm going to finish my coffee. You guys have a great day. Let's learn from Umar's challenges. Build a team and do something big. Peace.